Gilbert Gottfried, you appear to be walking with a limp.
Yeah?
Were you walking with a limp?
No, I think you just hit that age.
Oh, I see. You're just a big mess.
Yeah.
Gilbert now with his haircut and everything, you look like a Tibetan monk. Did anybody ever tell you that? But I want to say you're looking well, but I really can't. I can't lie to my audience.
There's only so far you can go.
I don't really know what to say. Gilbert is here. Of course, you know if he's here, there's an ulterior motive. He's promoting a show.
He didn't just drop by.
No, I'm sitting there, I'm watching him limping, and he's all hunched over.
Gilbert was in the neighborhood, coincidentally.
And I'm like...
It's like Playboy After Dark. Oh, Sammy just walked.
You know, and I always say to someone when they walk, I go, oh, you're looking... I went, you're looking... Gilbert. You're looking Gilbert. And he knew what I meant.
You don't have a spear going through your head.
No, you don't have Hep C or anything like that, do you? No, okay, that's good. Gilbert Gottfried will be at Caroline's in Manhattan tomorrow.
Oh.
For ticket reservations, call 212-757-4100. And Gilbert is very funny.
He's still doing that stand-up thing. Huh?
Yeah, he's very funny despite the reviews he gets. I'm telling you, the guy's funny. Gilbert will be performing at Governor's on Long Island this Sunday night. They do research for the show. And Gilbert, I guess it was some review I was reading where the critic trashed you.
Did Gilbert see this review?
Did you ever see this?
Which one was this?
This is from...
I have a box of them.
But it's an interesting review.
A box of bad reviews?
You can just tell that the reviewer hates Gilbert. But it's almost... This is weird. All right, you listen to this one. Comedian Gilbert Gottfried's ship was sinking Wednesday night in the second of two shows at the 99 WMYX Comedy Pavilion with Miller Lite. Dressed in a loud blue shirt, which is what he's wearing today.
Same shirt.
And wiping sweat from his brow every 10 seconds. Well, the man works hard. He labored over a series of painfully unfunny routines involving classic horror film stars in incongruous situations. Thus, Bela Lugosi doing Who's on First. Now, I've seen this bit. It's hysterical.
Let me tell you something. This reviewer should be shot.
How could anyone say your Bela Lugosi Who's on First bit isn't funny?
Come on.
This guy completely misses the point.
I think he's anti-Semitic.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
The description of it is funny.
What does that sound like when you do that?
Give us a little bit.
Give us a little bit of that. Just a second.
It's like being on Leno or
something.
Yeah,
what is it like?
No, what does that sound like?
No, really, what does it sound like when Bela Lugosi does Who's on First?
I understand you did Bela Lugosi doing Who's on First.
Listen to this, wait. Unsurprisingly, the routine was met with several boos.
Oh, yeah.
So how does a comedian save face in front of a Summerfest crowd? Why, with homophobia, of course. After several...
right here we get it, yeah.
Yeah, after several embarrassing pauses, Gottfried lit into a harangue about flower and candy-bearing homosexuals in the military.
I don't recall this bit.
The Vietnam War would have been over in minutes since the enemies, including Gottfried himself, he assured us, would have run from them. Saddest of all, his ruse worked. Much of the crowd was laughing again. So now the guy's mad that you made him laugh.
Yeah. Now you're funny, he hates you even more.
Well, when you've even said you can't judge your crowd. You have an intellectual act, and sometimes when things start to fall apart, you resort to filthy humor.
The safe stuff.
How about those fags?
Once he uses the term homophobia, you already see where he's going.
Well, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I have no idea what you even mean by
He's
that.
a big fake.
What are you, an angry fruit?
It doesn't mean a guy's gay because he recognizes homophobia.
Yeah,
Now, tell us some of your fag jokes. So what's it sound like when you do fag jokes?
Fag jokes?
When you're flopping with your Bela Lugosi routine, what do? You do fag jokes. Tell us some of your fag jokes, would you?
I understand you're homophobic. What's that like?
Tony, we're in the paper somewhere that you hate faggots. What's that like?
What was that like?
Did you ever wait outside a gay bar and just start beating up people? I heard you did that.
So, Gilbert, I told you I ran into Gilbert. Whenever I run into Gilbert in personal life, it's always embarrassing because we never know what to say to each other.
When did you run into him?
I told you this story. I had an incredible dinner at Alan Ducasse, a great restaurant in the Essex Hotel.
Uh-huh.
And a very romantic dinner.
And Gilbert was there?
Well, yeah, I bought Gilbert a ring at Mayfair Diamond.
I was one of the bus boys.
Yeah, so anyway, as I was walking out and I was feeling so good, I had my arm around my girlfriend. I see this guy limping in the. I go, boy,
like, dun, dun, dun.
Gee, that guy looks like Gilbert Godfrey. I said to my girlfriend, but he's with a girl, so it can't be Gilbert Godfrey.
It's like Peter Lorre coming up to you going, Rick, hide me, you must help me. Howard, hide me, you must help me.
I said, it looks like Gilbert Godfrey, but it can't be. There's an attractive woman with him. I'm like, she's cute. So, sure enough, we get close, and it was Gilbert. It sure enough was Gilbert.
What was he doing?
He was with his girlfriend, and I made the mistake of starting to talk to Gilbert, and we were trapped in conversation for, what, 20 minutes, maybe?
It was one of those, it felt like 3 hours.
Yeah, it did. It was going on and on.
It really went on for 20 minutes? It wasn't just a hi, how you doing, Gilbert, and you keep moving?
You know, I've known Gilbert a long time. I mean, I visited him when he was in the hospital dying.
Oh, yes, that was the best.
And
always the best.
I feel like I have something of a... I invited him to my New Year's party. I feel like I have something of a relationship with him, but you never really get to know Gilbert. He has real emotional problems.
There is no Gilbert, I don't think.
I witnessed your interaction at your New Year's party. It was like you never met the guy.
Yeah. It's like Gilbert's always like... He always looks like he's meeting me for the first time.
Please, I saw Gilbert at the party, and I walked up to him and I said, Gilbert! We have nothing to say.
Yeah. My agent said, he went up to Gilbert, he goes, you know, Gilbert, I'm a big fan of yours. I think you're terrific. Can I get you a drink? You know, he was just being nice. And Gilbert goes, yes. And he gave him an order, and my agent goes, and then I had to stand online for Gilbert's drinks.
One of the biggest agents in the business is getting Gilbert a gin and tonic for 2 hours.
And some cocktail weenies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gilbert's a truly odd guy. But so I see, when I'm trying to have conversation, we're talking about Son of the Beach, which Gilbert's going to be appearing on in a week.
So you did have something to bring up.
Yeah, we talked. I said I saw the dailies. It's hysterical. In fact, your thing airs in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think August 6th.
August 6th.
Yeah.
He thinks. Meanwhile, he studies the TV guy.
No, I called up. Yeah. I found out.
It's very funny. Have you seen it yet?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, do you like it?
I'm telling you, this is like...
It's the funniest thing.
I think actors have won awards for much less.
I know. Gilbert's hysterical as Dracula Godfrey.
Oh, that's so funny.
He's a Jewish lifeguard from Israel, comes over, gets bitten by a vampire, and becomes Dracula Godfrey. And the lighting is spectacular.
This is the most ambitious of the Son of the Beach.
Yes,
I think.
yes. So anyway, it's very ambitious.
Right.
People who don't even like the show told me they love this episode.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't love you?
They haven't seen it yet. What are you talking about?
I'm sure the faggot who wrote that review would like this show.
So anyway, Gilbert goes...
He marked it on his calendar.
Yeah,
I'm sure the ass slammer who wrote that review would love this episode of Sunday.
Now, let me say, Gilbert's doing comedy.
Yeah.
The guy isn't really an ass slammer. So anyway... Yeah, we don't even know who did that. Anyway, listen to me. Listen to me. So finally, I'm running out of stuff to talk to Gilbert about in the hall of the Mayflower Hotel, and I say to him...
Are you handling the whole conversation? You're bringing up every topic, and Gilbert's just standing there?
I'm doing everything. So,
you do have to drive the conversation.
We do. Yeah, Gilbert's not coming up with stuff to talk about. He just goes, oh, yeah, right. Yeah. I go, hey, you did Son of the Beach. Oh, yeah, right, yeah. Like he wasn't there.
Right.
So I go...
like you could practically hear the clock ticking.
So anyway, I go to Gilbert. I'm trying to make conversation. Right. I go, you know, Gilbert, and I'm talking to the girlfriend. The girlfriend's engaged in the conversation, because she's normal. And she goes...
actually converse.
Yeah, the only thing not normal about her is she's with Gilbert. You can't, it's like after you leave Gilbert and his girlfriend, you go, she's so normal. What's she doing with Gilbert?
You got to say to yourself, there's something wrong.
Yeah, everyone thinks there's something wrong with her.
It's almost like she's from the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah. I go, what a saint. So I said to Gilbert, we just had the most beautiful dinner at Alan Ducasse. He goes, oh, really? Where's that? I go, right over here. I go, it's a little bit pricey, but I got to tell you, if you want to have a romantic evening with you and your girlfriend, the girlfriend's looking at me like, oh, this sounds wonderful. And she looks at me and she goes, with hopelessness in her eyes, she goes, do you know who you're talking to?
It's not gonna
she knows she ain't getting an expensive dinner.
Gilbert would have to sell his sneakers to buy a piece of shrimp at that joint.
Well, that's why I'm asking asking you, how could Gilbert have been there? He was just coming into the hotel.
Gilbert was going to the bar. He has friends, I guess, and was going to, I don't know, or maybe I think there was I think if you walk through the Mayflower Hotel, you can get to the Ranch 1 quicker.
Yes.
Rather than walking around the block. But you were going to the bar to, like, meet friends.
I heard they had a free buffet.
Yeah. No, but he had, like, a social life. I was shocked. The girlfriend was taking him to this bar. And
he has friends?
Yeah. But not really. Just people who like him because he's famous.
He was going to meet Freddie Roman for a drink.
But the girlfriend's in love, I tell you.
They're still together.
I'm going to meet Sandler and Young.
Oh, God.
You know, those are your buddies?
No, do you remember Sandler?
Sure I do.
Of course, from the Mike
when the
Douglas
Saints.
You know, one of them died, I think.
Oh, really? Which
Yeah.
one? The French one, the American?
I don't remember which.
Yeah, it used to be, when those saints come marching in, it was like, that was the worst act of all time.
Well, one of them was, what, an impersonator?
No,
they were both
singers.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
And one was American, one was French, and you could see, like, an agent threw them together.
Yeah, they looked horrible.
And he used to know he wasn't French, he was Belgian.
Oh, I see.
What's the matter? You don't know the difference? So, anyway, so I saw Gilbert. Was that weird for you to see me?
Oh, always.
Always.
Everything's weird.
Here, it's weird. No, any place outside of the studio.
That's right.
I don't think you ever talk to my girlfriend. You just look at me.
Yeah.
Barely.
Well, that would be awkward.
Yeah.
But Gilbert really doesn't refer to his girlfriend.
No. Oh.
Refer to her.
I don't even know her name. He never even says, like I'll go, oh, Gilbert, this is Beth, and then I expect him to go, oh, yeah, and this is Susan, or whatever her name is.
It's like you standing next to a painting.
Because I don't know her name, but it would help
Gilbert
me out.
will never introduce you.
No, you would think that she was a stranger standing next to her.
See, you know what? In that way, though, Gilbert is almost like Snoop Dogg. He handles his bitches, you know? Like, if she talks, she'll get hit with a sneaker or something.
Yeah, I don't know this bitch's name.
I've been compared to Snoop Dogg more times than you know.
But why don't you say her name?
Yeah.
Why don't you introduce me?
Yo.
Did you know her name?
Why do you recognize that you're awkward?
Yes.
You do.
Yo, shut up, bitch.
You know that I maybe possibly didn't know her name and that you should...
Yo, you want me to hear Bela Lugosi do Who's on First?
You want me to do some of them faggot jokes?
What you need, baby?
I'll do some Bela Lugosi. If that don't work, I'll do a faggot joke.
But it doesn't occur to you in a social situation to introduce your girlfriend to me?
Or anyone else.
So, but listen, you make a lot of money. You do. You hold on to every penny. You won't take your girlfriend to a beautiful dinner?
Yeah, well, when the check comes in from Son of the Beach.
No, you do all of these. I was looking at this. Next to your bad review, I read that you were doing...
He played a parrot in like 8 hit movies.
Yeah. He's got a list of commercials that he does.
Right. What are some of the commercials?
They never actually put Gilbert in the commercial. They use his voice. He's too disturbing. But what are you doing? Who do you play? What is the... Affleck?
Affleck.
You are the
yes.
duck?
I'm the Affleck duck.
Affleck. What is Affleck?
Affleck.
It's huge. It's people are in the commercial and the duck just walks around and it goes Affleck, Affleck.
It's almost like they said. I love that.
It's almost like they said, the duck is supposed to be really, really annoying.
Well, who can we get?
Exactly.
I love your work with Yogi Berra, by the way.
Can you do a little of this Affleck the duck for me?
Affleck? It's not Affleck.
Oh yeah, because there's a lot of work. Affleck.
That's all you had to do.
Affleck.
What do you get for something like that?
Affleck.
Because they have to pay you when they run the commercial nationally, right?
Yes.
And there's a bunch of different Affleck commercials. There's not just one.
Howard, they're wildly popular. I mean, they're huge.
Will you do Affleck the movie?
Oh, yes.
Affleck.
It sounds like Ben Affleck's annoying frat brother.
Yeah.
Oh, but why don't they ask me to do this kind of work?
He hates
I'm annoying.
The commercial, Ben Affleck.
He does.
Yeah. Affleck. He said that, people scream that out when he walks down the street.
Is that right?
So you were called, and they said, Gilbert, will you do this? And all we need you to do is say Affleck.
And yeah, I thought it was like a stupid idea. I did it a couple of times. I thought this will never work.
And now
sure
look
enough.
at it.
You know what
How
this
many
is like?
Years later?
You hear great songwriters say, I needed one more song for the album, so I wrote a song in 3 seconds, and that becomes their biggest hit.
Yeah.
That's what they're known before.
Yeah, then it became Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Right, that's your... Aflac is your Bridge Over Troubled Water. It'll probably make you the most money.
Yeah, and when I go in, I record for each new one, and it's
You're
like...
kidding.
You're there for a few hours.
And when you go... And when, you mean
Going, can you make it more angry for this one?
Yeah, and meanwhile, you could be done in a
suspicious.
second.
Oh, yeah.
But they resent giving you all that money for 1 second's work. So they hold you there all day.
Yeah.
Because the duck doesn't say anything else.
You get in at 10, you go out at like 6:30.
Yeah, right.
Gilbert has to vacuum
and all you
the
have to say is Aflac.
Yeah.
And now it's an art. They're going to tell you how to say it.
Yes. Sometimes the duck is dizzy. Sometimes the duck
But the first
is
time you did
angry.
it, how long did it take?
It took a long time, and it's like I could say it once. And
Let
Mr.
me
Gottfried,
ask you something.
Mr. Gottfried, you're doing it good, but what we want to make sure is we have it. So, can you say it angrier?
Yeah.
No, I've got the best, because there's one time where the duck is on a roller coaster. And he's got... Did they make it?
Yes.
Let me see you do that. Do it. And then do Who's Up First.
And then I'll do a faggot joke.
Mr. Gottfried, it's sounding a little Jewy. Can you un-Jew it?
Mr. Gottfried, do it with a little more sexual tension.
Yes.
Like you're getting laid.
I have no frame of reference.
But, Howard, you talk about... Gilbert does take some of the oddest gigs in the world outside of doing comedy.
If you pay him, he'll take it.
But because I know, like you said, that you don't get Gilbert, you don't want to actually see him, you get his voice. Aren't you a toaster for Pop-Tarts?
Oh, yeah, years ago.
Right. And then one of my...
You know how they say be a tree or be... Gilbert actually has to do all that stuff for a living.
Yeah, he took acting class. What we want to do is pretend to be a toaster.
But wait a second, I was watching some...
Good thing he had all that training.
Gilbert, that's more like a blender.
Yes.
I was watching a kid's show. Weren't you like Mr. Snow on some children's show?
Oh, yes.
And you dressed up in a weird outfit?
Yeah. And I was a smoke detector.
Yeah.
What is a smoke detector?
Same voice.
Same voice.
Yeah.
You never change your voice. Isn't there an Aflac commercial where someone said you get your foot stepped on and you have to scream Aflac?
Oh, yes.
What is Aflac, by the way?
It's an insurance.
Yeah.
I went to see if Gilbert knew.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
You do know that.
That would lose the entire account for me.
And do you have, it's amazing that you'll get up on stage and tell fag jokes and all kinds of stuff. Do you ever worry about your image, like that Aflac will come to you and go...
the company will say, we don't want to be associated
Gilbert,
with you.
we don't want to be associated with you.
We don't want to be associated with faggots.
Gilbert lost the gig because of the show once.
Yeah, what did you lose?
Oh, Cheese Whiz.
Oh, no. It was, Kraft Miracle Whip mayonnaise. Yeah, they heard me on this show and they said, that's totally offensive.
Obviously, they've never seen your act.
Yeah. And then I remember you got up a jar of Kraft Miracle Whip and we tasted it on the air.
And it was horrible.
Oh, it's like Elmer's glue.
Yeah, who eats Miracle Whip? You either eat mayonnaise. Miracle Whip is disgusting.
Oh, it's the worst.
The worst.
It's like a whipped cream that's gone bad.
Gilbert, this is the people at Miracle Whip. We saw your act. Instead of fag, could you say ass biter?
I think it's funny that Gilbert's perplexed that Miracle Whip fired him after he got on the show. We ate it and said it was horrible. After they paid him.
The president of Aflac and all that?
Well, he loves Aflac Insurance.
Yes.
And you're a cyberbird on the PBS show, right?
Oh, yeah.
Why always a bird?
He
Poor
plays
birds.
a lot of birds.
I cornered the market on birds.
A lawyer's filing a class action suit against Gilbert. The birds are upset. But, you make all this money, and you do make a lot of money. You'd think you'd part with some of it and treat your girlfriend to a little something.
Have you ever done what Howard, he gave his girlfriend the Pretty Woman birthday?
On my girlfriend's birthday, I gave a Pretty Woman shopping spree. Would you ever allow your girlfriend to do that?
But, Howard, here's the point. Gilbert, do you still live in that same place that you've been in?
Oh, yes.
He hasn't moved since he made, $50 a week.
Right.
He finds that very funny.
Do you invest in the stock market?
Just recently put some money in the stock market.
Did you?
Yeah.
To buy Enron.
Finally, I figured I'm the idiot. Maybe they're right. I'll put some money in.
And you lost all your money, I bet. Yeah. What'd you invest in, do you know?
I have no idea.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Affleck.
Yes.
Yeah, why wouldn't you buy the stuff you had?
On your girlfriend's birthday, do you ever get her a present? Seriously.
Do you know when her birthday is?
When is your girlfriend's birthday?
I don't know when anyone's birthday is.
You don't. You know your birthday.
Yes, vaguely.
But do you know your girlfriend's birthday?
No. I actually... I forget. I don't know people in my family is their birthday.
But let me ask you, wouldn't it be wise to write it down because it is your girlfriend and she has sex with you and you have this intimate relationship?
Does she have to start hinting around when it's getting near?
Does she tell you when her birthday?
I guess I should write it down.
Does she ever tell you or she just doesn't tell you?
Do you get birthday presents? Do you celebrate her birthday?
I usually find out it's her birthday when other people are talking about it.
Okay. And what do you do for her when you find out it's her birthday?
Oh, big stuff.
You rented Pretty Woman.
I'm being serious for one second. Have you ever given her a gift?
Yeah, nothing of real value. I never have given anybody anything.
Like
jar
what
of Miracle
would be a gift?
Yeah, the Miracle Whip.
I'm really wondering.
Really, what do you get her? Seriously, what did you buy? Like a nightie or something sexy?
A porno? What did you...
What do you do?
Yes.
A Gilbert headshot.
Yes.
All right, before I take a break and we do the news, when you're on Hollywood Squares, this has always fascinated me. A lot of times they cut to you, and you appear to be fake laughing at Whoopi's jokes. Is that hard for you to do?
One time they caught you laughing and they keep using it over and over.
Would you call that selling out or what? What do you do? How do you work yourself up to do a fake laugh?
On Hollywood Squares, for any of those reaction shots, it's kind of like when they used to do, what was it, those roasts, like the Dean Martin roast. Like, Milton Berle would be laughing at something that happened like 4 weeks ago.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
So what you're here to say is you never really laugh at Whoopi's jokes.
That was something else.
They would cut to Milton Berle laughing in his car.
Now, are you coming back?
You know what it is? It's a tape of Gilbert laughing at himself.
Right, absolutely. I'm sure it is. But is he coming back now that Whoopi won't be... Are they throwing everybody out?
Yes,
or?
this I don't know. It's like
a birthday. He doesn't know where he'll be working next.
Gilbert is part of Whoopi's rider.
Yeah.
Whoopi's left. 2 of the producers have been fired. Oh, Henry Winkler is taking over.
Oh,
Hollywood,
no.
the Center Square?
Yes.
Oh,
no, not as the Center Square, as the producer.
I see.
Oh.
And they've already said their plans.
Fonzie's taking over.
Oh, Fonzie.
He has some credibility in the world of Hollywood Squares.
They've already said the Center Squares is not going to be just one. It's going to be a bunch of different big-name stars.
Yeah.
Like Vinnie Pastore?
Yes. I'm sure Liam Neeson is sitting by the phone now.
Yeah.
Yeah, all Oscar winners.
Julia Roberts. It's Oscar Winners Week on Hollywood Squares.
Jeremy Irons. The Block.
It's all going to be big stars.
That's right.
But you're going to have to get in a time machine because all of them were big stars 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Dame Judi Dench is our Center Square.
Marlon Brando of The Godfather. Marlon.
In the Center Square, Jeremy Broadbent.
Al Pacino from Panic at Needle Park. Al.
Jodie Foster.
Al Pacino, when you were doing The Godfather.
And he said some lame joke.
Will Henry Winkler loosen the reins and allow you to do your fag humor?
Well, I'll have to set it up with a question first.
Right.
Gilbert the Block. Okay, Gilbert Gottfried.
Barbara Streisand.
Can you imagine Gilbert sitting next to Barbara Streisand?
Yeah, Barbara Streisand.
We decided to pair up our lesser celebrities with big names this week. Barbara Streisand and Gilbert Gottfried.
In the same
square.
And that way it could be a lead-in, because they'll say, Barbara, you have a lot of faggots who go to your concert.
Gilbert, what do you know about faggots?
More than you know. Anthony Hopkins of Howard's End. Anthony.
And then they'll split to people with their reaction shot, like, oh, I'm so embarrassed.
No, utter shock.
Yes.
Wonder what the real celebrity... Now that Whoopi's gone, because Whoopi could once in a while drag in Robin Williams and Billy Crystal.
Yeah.
And, even the chick from that, that witch show.
Right, she stayed around.
Caroline Ray. Who the hell are they going to bring in now that...
Tuscadero.
Yeah, Henry Winkler.
Couldn't get picky, you had to take leather.
It's Happy Days week. Marion Ross, when you were on Happy Days... Marion... I can imagine, like, the Center Square is going to be Jared from Subway.
Yeah. Ralph Mouth and whatever his name is, they'll be back, too.
Yeah, Ralph Mouth. Bob Mouth.
Who is now Donald Most.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Used to be Donnie.
Hey, how about Tiffany Amber Thiessen is now Tiffany Thiessen?
Yes, because
she wants to get more serious.
Why would you have to drop Amber?
Dave Madden from the Partridge Family, the block.
Tiffany Thiessen. Two guys and a girl in a pizza place. Tiffany.
Ron Palillo. Horshack, you were famous 100 years ago.
Horshack recently beat up by Dustin Diamond. Horshack.
David Chochiki. Whatever that guy is from Baywatch.
The other people who were in the classroom and Saved by the Bell who weren't the main characters.
Scott Chachi Bayo.
Marcus Schenkenberg from Nothing. Marcus.
Now, will Henry Winkler appear in his leather jacket?
Hey.
Now, I heard there's a feud, though, between Henry Winkler and Scott Baio.
Oh, a feud?
Not an ongoing feud, but I heard the two didn't like each other.
Will they do celebrity boxing? Why?
That would be fun.
Do you have any indication?
I have no inside dirt.
You have no inside dirt?
Yeah, someone told me.
They just don't get along.
Both of them hate Al Molinaro.
You were laughing so hard that you couldn't find out the rest of the story when you heard that.
Yes. And they all hate Pat Morita.
Well, because he got those karate movies. Well, I could see where Scott Baio probably tried to take some of the thunder away from Fonzie.
He's the young buck coming in on the show, you know.
Now, do you think Henry Winkler...
he was the one they spun off.
Do you think Henry Winkler is a fan of yours and will approach you about another season? Are you worried about that?
He's looking over
Gilbert, will you be calling anybody an ass slammer?
Yeah.
Maybe the rules are like... Frank Stallone, you replace Gilbert Gottfried. Tell us a joke. Tell us a fag joke.
Tell us a fag joke, would you please?
Gilbert, how many fags does it take?
Double A, you're on the air.
Hey, what's going on, Howard?
Hey.
Listen, besides these hot broads you usually get in there taking off their clothes, Gilbert has to be one of your best guests ever.
Gilbert rules.
From the minute he comes into the studio till he leaves, it's like hilarious. Non-stop laughter.
Absolutely.
I was wondering if he could do a little Dracula Godfrey meet that.
Come on, man. How about Bela Lugosi does Who's On First?
Sounds good.
Let's see you flop sweat.
He's not even doing the Affleck duck.
Gilbert, do you do that in your act still? You haven't changed your act at all since I saw 12 years ago?
Yes.
What is it, Gary?
You know, we were talking about this before. Can you think of any other guest besides Gilbert who's appeared on the show more times?
Yes.
Would you think that Gilbert holds the record for most appearances on the show?
Yes.
Well, because he won't die.
You're right. How about this? Can you think of a guest that's been on the show more than Gilbert, but we know least? Do you know any more about Gilbert
than you did the first time we met him?
That's why he's so eternally young. To be young.
Fascinating.
Did you see the Pope on TV yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, did you watch it?
Well, I see, clips of him. He looks like he's died, 6 years ago.
Don't you think that holding a what does he call it?
A youth convention?
A youth convention is poor timing right now?
It really is weekend at Bernie's now.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, when the Pope is bombing, he starts doing fag jokes.
Yeah. How do you think of those faggots? Forget about Jesus Christ and let's concentrate on those faggots.
Don't you think it's strange that at this point he'd have a youth conference and then fill it with priests and young children and address them in Canada?
You'd figure, too, it's like an older actor wants to be around older actors to make him look young. Yeah. You don't want to be...
around youth.
Yes.
But do you think people will get the idea that now when you want to have sex with boys, Canada's the place to go?
Well, let me tell you something. If they
Wasn't it always?
If they held the convention here, all the lawyers would be suing immediately.
Yes.
So they're going to places like Africa and having the youth convention because they have no money to sue. You can rape their young boys and nobody complains.
When the Pope was bombing with his Christ material, he immediately went into...
But he did look a little like Dracula, didn't he? Oh, you will sleep in my room. To be eternally young.
Sleep with me, and I will give you eternal life. Take your pants off for the Pope, and you will live forever. You will be able to turn into a bat at night. If you bend over now. Take off your pampers now. 6 feet the Pope.
Gilbert, I understand the Pope does an excellent Who's On First.
Okay, so you don't go for the Abbott and Costello. Those fags really suck, though, don't they?
Boy, how about those homos, huh?
Gilbert, you are appearing at Caroline's in Manhattan tomorrow, and I bet you'll be doing...
have more fun like this.
Who's On First?
Oh, yeah.
You can call Caroline's for reservations, 212-757-4100. Also, Gilbert will be performing at Governor's on Long Island this Sunday night, because he's such a big star now. They let him into Governor's. We're going to be back right after this.
When is he going to do
on Son of the Beach on August 6th.
Hey, August 6th. Next week is Frank Sinatra Jr., which you must watch as Gold Member, or whatever the hell it is. Stinkfinger.
Yes.
Gold Member's the other guy on Austin Powers. But and then Gilbert as Dracula Gottfried. You've never played Dracula Gottfried in any venue.
No, except once here, I was Dracula walking the street, asking black people if they thought O.J. was guilty.
Didn't you do that on... But no, didn't you do that on L.A. Law one year?
Oh, yeah.
I
think it was ER that I did that.
But this is your first dramatic appearance as Dracula Gottfried, and I got to say, when you change from the Jewish lifeguard...
Does his appearance change?
Oh, yeah, like, remember the old Dracula movies where the guy all of a sudden starts changing?
Yeah, like the old Wolfman.
Right.
He changes. And he goes after, he tries to bite Kimberly.
Oh, Kimberly.
Yeah. Kimberly. You go after her. Do you remember your line?
She becomes my slave.
Yes. Do you remember? You walk in the room and you say, Kimberly. Kimberly.
You want adventure in your life.
That's what he does.
Let the adventure begin. They have me turn into a bat.
Yes. Yes, he does. He does it all.
2 transformation scenes.
Another bird.
Yes, another bird.
They pulled out all the stuff.
But you handle it so masterfully. Really, this will get you an Emmy. I know it.
Also, when you think that Martin Landau got an award for a Bela Lugosi imitation.
No kidding.
You are so brilliant in this. When people see you in this, I believe... When
are people going to recognize Gilbert?
I'm going to tell you something. This is my prediction. When people... We're getting serious.
Yes.
When
I should have wipe a tear from my eye.
When people see Gilbert in this, I believe he will play more toasters in commercials than ever before.
Don't say they're actually going to put him in the commercial.
Not since his performance as Affleck the Duck have I seen such brilliance.
I think you're going to get that. I think you're going to get that part of the microwave that's been going to James Earl Jones all these years.
You know what, Robin? Seriously, I believe they're going to start using Gilbert's face in these commercials.
Oh my goodness!
I do. Instead of using a cartoon.
I can't believe it.
Did I tell you that what's on second and I don't know's on third?
That's about it. Yes.
But the Pope is looking more like Dracula, you must admit. What if they had everyone's into these reality shows, and I pitched this show yesterday. I'm not kidding you. I'm not telling you a joke. Instead of picking the next Pope in private, they do it on TV, like this American Idol, where they have 3 judges, like Paul Abdul, and the guys get up and they audition for Pope. And I think that would be good.
I want to be the Pope. All right, 2. I want to be the Pope. 3. Make me the Pope. Make me the Pope. I want to have sex with the young boys.
Paul Abdul, what do you think? Well, I think all 3 of them are terrific. Simon, what do you think? Paul Abdul's an idiot. We have to find the best Pope. The one who said, make me the Pope, was the most forceful. I like him.
This is the black guy. Pope.
3 has absolutely no chance of being a Pope.
And the black guy, like Robin says, all he does is repeat the contestants' names 3 times. He goes, like... Ralph. Pope.
John Paul II.
JP2. JP2. All right, listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, we'll do the news. Gilbert Gottfried at Caroline's in Manhattan tomorrow. Yes. Everybody's all pumped up.
Welcome back to BET Talk. Our guest tonight, Johnny Cochran. We travel now to California to talk to Paul. Paul, thanks for calling. You on BET Talk.
Hi, Johnny.
Hi there.
Let me ask you, are you going to see Howard Stern's movie with a white woman?
Got one of those Howard Stern prank calls we'll pass on Paul. Thank you, Paul. You were successful.
This is The Howard Stern Show. The Howard Stern Show. 104.1 WBCN Boston.
I'm trying to do a good job. Is that so friggin' wrong?
The lovely and talented Howard Stern.
Gilbert's amazing. During the break, he came up with 20 new fag jokes. Here's a conversation you'll never hear.
Prolific.
Here's a conversation you'll never hear with Gilbert Gottfried. So, Gilbert, you're in incredible shape. This new workout routine of yours, I understand you run the 400-meter in under a minute.
Let me feel your stomach again.
Let me touch those. Let me touch that rock-hard abs of yours. Let me start off the news with some Onion news, because I didn't even get to it. And this is kind of serious news for a second. So
Onion got serious?
Yeah.
Seniors rise up against gang violence and die. It's the Onion Radio News. I'm Doyle Redland. A community watchdog group called Seniors Against Gangs stood up to take back their neighborhood from ruthless street gangs today and were killed. The seniors took a brisk 3-block walk to a known gang hangout, faced gang members head-on, then were mowed down like cattle. Most were killed by 9mm machine gun fire. Hans McKelvick, 91, was stabbed 12 times with a switchblade. Thelma Frex, 88, was dragged from the rear of a stolen Buick until she was a fine pulp. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News.
Visit theonion.com to subscribe for home delivery today, or just call 866-4-ONIONS.
Right.
You think the walk alone would have killed them?
Yeah. Some bad news there.
That is funny. That'd be funny in a movie, you know? Big seniors group takes back their neighborhood and they all got killed. Here's Dan, owner of Mayfair Jewelers. Yes, Dan. Dan?
Hello?
Yes, Dan, you're on the air.
Oh, hi. Howard?
Yes, sir.
Dan Kolchinsky, Mayfair Jewelers.
Okay.
I've been a friend of Lou Weinstein for almost 20 years, a neighbor of his.
Yes.
And a fan of yours for as long as you've been on the air.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I wasn't in the store when you had come in.
Yes.
My son and daughter were there.
Yes, I met them.
They told me.
Yes, very nice people.
Thank you. And the only people I said anything to, and it wasn't even Lou and Elaine Weinstein, was Karen Adler from Gems of the Past, who I'm friends with in East Hampton. And she said, Howard was in our store also.
So you're saying you are innocent of reporting me to the newspapers?
I did read the newspaper, and I was quite surprised.
I'll get to the bottom of it, Dan. Don't you worry.
Okay.
All right.
Again, unfortunately, I'm sorry I wasn't there when you were there.
Well, Dan, I'll be back. Don't worry, buddy.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank
Howard.
you, Dan.
Have a good day.
Rob and I am conducting a thorough investigation, and we'll have a report for you.
You'll get to the bottom of it.
That's right. Who ratted me out, say?
Bring it on. Come on, Mayfair.
If nobody there did it, who did it?
Oh, please. Who knows?
You want to lock horns with Stern, Mayfair? Come on.
Nah, say, I'll take on all the jewelry stars, eh?
As proof that he couldn't do it.
Believe me, Gilbert.
Friend of the Weinstein.
We were complimenting Gilbert in here that he really knows how to handle his woman.
Unbelievable.
He doesn't even introduce her to people.
He pretends she's not there.
So Gilbert's like the Taliban. The woman walks 3 feet behind him, picking up after him.
The whole time at your New Year's party, there was this woman standing at Gilbert's elbow, and I didn't know if she was with him or not.
And her face was wrapped up.
Yeah, in a cloth thing.
Burka.
She was in a tent.
Artie's getting married next. That's my prediction.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
Artie's going to be heading out to, what's that, Mayfair Jewelers?
It's early in the game.
I don't know, bro. I hear you're on the fast track.
Discussed?
Well, I couldn't imagine meeting someone better than her, but
has it been discussed?
Oh, boy.
I can imagine you meeting someone better.
Yes.
Honestly, but it's 6 months. What am I going to do? I mean, what am I?
Man, maybe it's time to move
my Larry
forward.
King?
Maybe you should be moving fast. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
You know, once you have that feeling to get married, time to start.
Another pep talk from good old Howard.
Has it been discussed, Archibald?
No, absolutely not.
You're in love, though, right?
It has not been. I would say I'm in love. Yeah.
She hasn't said anything about wanting to get married?
No.
Or having children?
No.
I don't believe it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Artie even said, I got to be more like Gilbert.
Yeah.
No, really. And Gilbert
Stop introducing her.
If I pay a toll and my girlfriend's in the car, I got to introduce her to the guy taking the toll.
That's your most pathetic when you go, oh, if I could only be like Gilbert is with his women.
Gilbert, you're really coming into your own.
Yeah, damn it, that Gilbert.
You know how to treat those bitches.
Yeah.
You'll teach them. You'll never get married, will you? Marriage is not part of your repertoire, is it?
It's a frightening thing. Now, see, here's something where, like, while you were still married, you said if something happened, if you were divorced or something, you would get married immediately afterwards.
No, I wouldn't.
No, you
never said that. I said I would date.
Oh.
If my wife ever died, I would date at the funeral.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot different.
Yeah.
You're thinking of Caroline Reyes. She said that.
Yeah. You got to stay with Hollywood Squares. I said this to Gilbert during the commercial. I said, because next year, with Henry Winkler producing it, you imagine the people Gilbert will be working with.
What people?
Someone who asked Henry for his autograph to block.
Steven Spielberg's Black Sun to block.
Henry's children is who.
Yeah, right.
Someone who once watched Happy Days.
To block.
Yeah.
The Pope.
Hey. I hate those facts.
No, Pope, we're talking about something else now.
Oh,
Pope, please, you're way too controversial.
Pope, when you have a young boy in your room, I like those young boys. I turn them into watch. They supply my coffin at night. Sometimes me and Michael Jackson have contests who can get the most young boys. Why doesn't Tommy Mottola push my album too?
Yeah, yours didn't do too well.
What is he, anti-gay?
Hey, who has it? Your Holiness, answer this for us. Who now has a bigger head, Rosie O'Donnell or Jerry Lewis? What's going on with Jerry Lewis's head? You're a comedian. Not you.
So I have all the insight there.
Did you
get the newsletter?
What's going on? He's got some kind of disease, and they gave him drugs, and it made his head blow up the size of an elephant? His head's like a piñata now. You break it, and candy comes out.
Is he sick?
Yeah, he's sick. He's real sick. He's got some kind of fibrosis or something.
No, not the stuff that he's been raising money for all this
No,
time.
no, that he could get disease. Yeah. He's got watermelonitis. He turns your head into a watermelon. They got drugs for it, though. No, evidently he's taking some kind of medication and made his head the size of a watermelon.
His head's like a piñata. You break it, and out comes the cure for muscular dystrophy.
On the cover of the National Enquirer, they got a whole big story about how Rosie's girlfriend is pregnant, but she left Rosie because she's upset about Rosie's weight.
She walked out.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, wait a second. Rosie was a big fat slob when you got with her.
Went there, yeah.
I'm upset about Sidney Greenstreet's weight.
I mean, you can't, I mean that's not fair. I'm going to defend Rosie.
Fatter.
Jerry Lewis's head finally blew up to the size of his ego.
Now he literally has a big head.
I told you I was a genius. My head can't hold my brains.
I'm upset about Louis Anderson's weight this year.
Yeah.
He's ballooned up.
He handles that family feud with such dignity.
What was
this is something you'd buy in a supermarket.
Survey says.
Now there's 3 orange juice now. This is something you tie your shoes with. Shoelaces. Survey says.
Number 1 answer.
You know, you've got all that swab that Richard Dawson has.
Yes. This is something you drink when you're thirsty. How can you say water?
You know what? On Each True Hollywood Story, they have decided.
This is someone who'd have sex with a little boy.
Not me.
Is this a pump? That's a 3. It's Michael Jackson. But you didn't say that.
Michael Jackson, #1 answer.
Now, here's something that would offend someone in Milwaukee. Now, you such a pig, Joe.
He doesn't kiss the contestants.
No. He can't reach over the desk.
He sweats on them.
Could someone please lift me up? I want to kiss the contestant. Someone please push me over the desk.
Not there, Balducci's. You can steal.
Get the crane ready. I want to kiss a contestant.
They have finally decided that Family Ties is the cursed game show.
Who's someone you see on Family Ties? Someone in your family. Like it's a farm.
Louis Anderson spots a crumb on one of the contestants' face and goes to lick it off.
Oh, my God. That's edible. I'll give it a 20.
What about you? Would you host a game show if they presented you with one, Gilbert? All right. Let's go to the news.
No,
with
but
Rob.
they really did. They decided that Family Feud was a cursed game show because Richard Dawson's career was ended by it.
Hey, Louis doing great.
What do you think it would be like if Bela Lugosi hosted a Family Feud?
But what would Richard Dawson be doing had he not done that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like he had anything else to do.
He was meant to be the next Godfather.
Hogan's Heroes reunions.
Yeah. It killed his career, Richard Dawson.
And then that other guy hung himself.
Oh,
and then
who hung himself?
What's the top answer?
And then Louis Anderson had to come out of the closet.
Name 3 hosts that hung themselves that worked on Family Feud. That'd be great if, like, the next Family Feud, they opened up and Louis Anderson was hanging from a tree. Just hanging there.
The tree broke.
He couldn't show up.
He would have hanged himself.
Help me! Someone hold a tree up!
Are you insulted by stand-up comics who go and do game shows? I mean, are you... All right.
Or
Robin,
is it prop comedians that upset you?
Yeah, let's do the news.
Would you like to sing out to? Would you like to chase your blues? Oh.
You ever hear Gilbert sing this song? Listen, he's going to sing a little right now.
Put on your dancing shoes and tell us how to do.
You're good.
It happens to be his favorite.
It's American Idol. Dun, dun, dun. All right, Gilbert Gottfried tomorrow night at Caroline's in Manhattan. For ticket reservations, 212-757-4100. Go see Gilbert. You will have a fun time, and then afterwards he'll introduce you to his girlfriend. Maybe.
Sunday, Governors in Long Island.
Oh, let's not forget that. God forbid.
And August 6th, Son of the Beach.
Son of the Beach on a Tuesday night at 10 o'clock on the mighty FX channel.
Yes.
You know, the credits are getting way too long.
Gilbert should have his girlfriend stand on stage with him and just never acknowledge her for an hour of stand-up.
That would be a reality show.
Now, Gilbert, the reality show, I would watch.
I'd watch that. What a fascinating show is. Gilbert clips coupons from the newspaper.
You can't believe a big star, the guy who plays the Aflac Duck, clips coupons.
Who clips coupons? Gilbert Gottfried. Oh, that's a fine.
You know, there's an article in, what is this, the Post today, for all of you people who are considering putting your children into showbiz.
Hey now.
Look at what happened to the
Gilbert
kids.
Gottfried.
Yeah, the kids from the Walton family.
By the way, that's the premise of the next movie that, what the hell's his name from Saturday Night Live? The guy who does our show. Blonde hair.
Oh, God.
David Spade. I couldn't think of his name. That's the premise of his movie. He plays a child star growing up.
Really?
Yeah. It sounds funny.
Well, it isn't funny what happens to you in real life. Do you realize that one of the guys actually wound up being a messenger?
That is funny.
Yeah, what's not funny about that?
Who became a messenger when the kids in the Walton.
And he had to deliver a package to Lorimar, which produced the Waltons.
Oh, that's mean.
And the picture of the Waltons was hanging there in the building.
And you know there was nothing in the package.
And he didn't go, there was a goof by his coworkers. Hey, you was on the Waltons, right? Hey, deliver this package over to the studio there, boy.
Quick, put a brick in the package. I'm taking it over to Walton's.
How long we got to wait till Haley Joel Osment is delivering something?
You know what? It couldn't happen soon enough.
But it gets even worse, because then he decided, all right, to hell with this show business. I'll really put all my efforts into messaging.
This is the Pope. My first boy crush was John Boy.
Oh, that mole.
And now he owns his own messenger service.
All right.
And he actually hired another one of the kids.
Yeah. You know what?
Cruel.
Who's
That's
laughing
a funny
now?
movie. Hey, Spade, write that into the movie.
So it doesn't always work out very well for these child actors.
No,
Spade just pulled over.
Gilbert, your mother didn't push you into show business? She didn't recognize something in you? I remember my father, when I told him at a young age I wanted to go into show business, he goes, you could never be anything. You could never be a star. You don't even speak properly. Okay, thanks for the vote of confidence.
When I told my mother I wanted to be a comedian, she goes, do you want to leave the job you have now? I was loading trucks. What are you going to do? You do better than this?
Yeah, you don't want to give that up. You have nothing to fall back on.
You don't want to leave. You get benefits.
You don't want to leave the prestige.
You think girls will still like me if I give up the truck job?
Yeah, how are you going to get a date? Reverend Al Sharpton is on the warpath. He's after HBO.
Well, hello there.
Well, let me see here. I'm going to disguise myself. If I put on a big cowboy hat, you think anyone will recognize me?
Maybe they'll think I'm Roy Rogers.
He's going to sue.
Not me under that 10-gallon
He's going to sue
hat.
HBO because he thinks this will hurt his presidential chances. I swear to God, that's what he's saying.
They said $500 million in the paper, but I heard $1 billion.
Yeah, what the hell the difference?
What?
That cowboy hat makes me look fat.
Like he could ever become president of the United States. I mean,
and he said he's going to sue if they don't show the complete clip.
There's another
afterwards
tape,
where
yes.
he denies it.
There's another tape.
So he's in charge of editing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so funny, too.
Well, here's a little bit of Al's press conference yesterday. D4
Oh, he was so happy,
is
probably.
the Reverend Sharpton, who says, first of all, the tape didn't show anything.
Except me buying drugs. But other than that, they don't show nothing.
Well, actually, he really didn't show him doing anything, quite frankly.
Let him talk about it.
All right. Well, hold
D4.
on. I'm going to load. Wait.
Uh-oh. You got to load?
I got to unload.
Give me a minute while I load.
All right, here we go.
If I say, will you marry me, and you say, I hear you, should I plan a wedding date?
There's his explanation.
I want him for my president.
No said.
Do you know that the White House would look like a Snoop Dogg video?
And then he says, of course, that the government is after him because they want to sink his presidential aspirations. D5.
What is clearly happening in this situation is a desperate attempt by some to play tabloid TV with a very old and very complex story.
Well, let me tell you, there's no chance he'd ever... Imagine these rednecks in the South. You would see crippled rednecks crawling out of wheelchairs to vote. There would be 100% voter turnout in the South.
They would be registering under 2 or 3 different
Yeah, right.
names.
Dead people would rise out of the grave. Dead crackers rising out of the grave to vote against Al Sharpton.
Disconnect my colostomy bag. I got the vote.
Forget dialysis.
Ain't gonna put a nigger in the White House.
Let's vote for anybody except that nigger. Let's vote for that dead guy who's running for president. He's running against the corpse. Let's vote for him.
I'd even vote for Gilbert Gottfried, the Jew who hates fags.
I'd rather have a Jew. All right.
I heard they got a rock running for president. Okay, I'll vote for him.
Al also says,
anything but that fat coon in the house.
Hey, he explains basically, I'm trying to talk
a fat coon. Right, Reverend Al Sharpton. Okay, I'll give it a 10.
He explains what he's doing in
Who
the
ruined Al Sharpton's chance for being president? A tape? Okay, I'll give it a 21.
E1 is Al explaining exactly
Why
what's going
isn't
on in
Al
the tape.
Sharpton president?
What is Al explaining?
He's explaining what he's doing in the tape.
All right.
First of all, he's proposing a deal that never happened, didn't exist. And my thing was, how do I get out of here without being intimidated and try to act like a tough guy myself?
A tough guy myself.
So I pretended that I was interested in the joke to sound tough. I could be president.
Couldn't Sharpton personally go to the 5 people that were going to vote for him and just explain it to them?
That would be some election. I can't wait for that. I can't wait to see that White House.
Run on. Speaking of presidents, President Bush was at the White House yesterday with Bruce Willis and Demi Moore.
Boy, did that reek of a celebrity who took on a cause so he could get some publicity. I mean, you know, come on.
What does he know about foster kids?
Nothing.
All right.
He'll go take care of his own goddamn kids.
Doesn't Bruce Willis get laid enough?
Yeah.
Here's Bruce Willis to talk about becoming the new spokesperson for the president's new foster care program, D1.
Yeah. His publicist found this for him.
I am honored that you have chosen me to be the national spokesman for children in foster care.
Because he's an actor, he's qualified.
Thanks to Mrs. Bush. Thanks to Mrs. Bush, a strong advocate for children and a co-star, my newest co-star, in the public service announcement that we're about to see today.
So what does Bruce know about adoption?
If I was the president, President Sharpton, Mystical would be in charge of the youth.
You keep banging me against the wall.
Looky here.
There's 2 choices up there. Now, there's Sharpton or anybody but that spear chuckler.
There's Sharpton or a Buick.
Uh-oh, here comes Vice President Mystical to sing.
It's time for the State of the Union address.
Oh, it's my Vice President.
Yeah, I know I let the time fall. State of the Union, my ass.
The president is being brought in by Mystical into the Congress.
And there's old dirty bastard
the Secretary of
who has
State.
just been released so he can function as Secretary of State. Oh, the crackers would go nuts. All right, what do we have here?
Bruce Willis talking about the problem of children needing foster care. D2.
Well, let's see how well prepared he was for the...
There are many, many people in this country who would welcome the chance to help children in foster care.
No one in this room.
Someone showed them how they could do it. Dad, and I know how important it is for children to be raised in a loving home. As a
how would you know that?
I wish I had one.
It doesn't sound like he's reading, does it?
Figure, I realized that I could lend my time and energy to help raise public awareness of children.
Page 2.
Scroll down. Hey, he sounds colored.
Why doesn't my publicist find something for me to do like that?
Oh, because you always turn them down.
Oh, that's right. I don't want to help anyone.
Here is a little bit of that public service announcement.
Yeah.
D3.
Kids who've had it hard, but who would make anyone...
I will give it to the kids hard.
Oh, Your Holiness, do you want to do a thing for kids?
I like when kids have it hard. I will get kids into my room and give it to them hard.
This is for kids who want it harder.
America is a nation that cares. Time and again, I've seen Americans share their love with others.
Come here, you.
Stable, loving home.
Hey, foster kid, you want it harder?
Giving it to foster kids hard. That's a fart. Foster kids who like it hard from Bruce Willis. That's a time.
Here's your Secretary of State, DMX.
All right, let's go to what else?
People don't want a nigger in the White House.
Oh, come on.
The
That's outrageous.
rednecks.
That's outrageous. That's outrageous.
Disgusting.
A lot of people feel that way, and it's a very sad story for this country.
Could you just stay with the anti-fag stuff, please?
Go ahead. Let's go.
Screaming out faggot.
N-words and fag stuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead, yeah.
Did you hear about
I've been writing.
He wrote during the long commercial break. Just go ahead, Robin.
First of all, there was a little girl in California who was snatched from the front of her house.
Snatch! That's a
A little girl snatch!
I'll vote for a little girl snatch over that coon.
Anyway, the little girl was taken.
That's right. A little girl was snatched in front of her house.
Yeah, right, exactly.
All right.
I'd like to get snatched in front of my house.
Well, they're going to hold that.
That's better than a big coon in front of my house.
All right, come on. Come on. There are people who are racist in this case.
Funeral today.
Who misunderstand what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, they tune in, they just hear
They just hear that and they think you're racist.
About.
They don't understand you're against racism.
That's
right, go ahead.
parodying it.
All right, go ahead, please.
Let me preface this by saying...
No, please.
No.
All right.
Anyway, that little girl is going to have her funeral today. That 5-year-old girl. She was found dead about a week after she was taken.
Can I be serious for a second here? I know everyone's having a good time, especially Gilbert, at other people's expense. But, forget it. It's a terrible thing what happened with the 5-year-old kid.
It was a terrible thing.
Yeah.
And they have a man in custody, and they say they pretty much have the goods on him, so...
We have to take a break. We'll be back.
Wait a minute, I just want to talk about the other little girl, the 7-year-old girl, who escaped from her kidnappers. Did you hear about this?
Yes.
She was grabbed by a couple of men, they think, and taken to this house, and she was left alone with duct tape around her hands and her feet.
Jesus. Thanks for ruining the fun.
Is that Affleck the Duck? Hey, look, it's Affleck the Duck. Who allowed the commercial?
Dropping in is Affleck the Duck.
Hey, Affleck.
But you said duct tape.
Oh, I see. Affleck the duct tape.
That'll be the next commercial.
What are the chances Affleck's not firing Gilbert? They're auditioning ducks as we speak.
What did I do?
Is there no one else in Hollywood who could do a goddamn duck?
It was a joke.
All right, listen.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
No. She chewed.
Rue's buzzing for Affleck.
Will you stop? She chewed through the duct.
All right.
Affleck! She's getting away!
I'd like to choose your duct tape.
All right. All right, let me...
Go to commercial.
Do you think Affleck the Duck could beat Al Sharpton in an election? All right, we're going to be back right after these words.
You're listening to a man whose gas is responsible for the hole in the ozone layer.
Thank you.
Howard Stern. Stay tuned to the Howard Stern Show on 101.4.1, Boston's alternative rock, WBCN.
The break you need is right here.
It's time to play!
It's the world's #1 phenomenon.
The Howard Stern Show.
Haven't seen her in a while.
Thinking about starting a Laura Branigan tribute band.
Hey, Gilbert, you ever unbutton that top button on your shirt, or you always keep it buttoned all the way to the top?
I want to show my chest off.
It's really funny,
He's hiding all the gold chains.
Yes. Gilbert was sharing his Middle East peace plan during the break. Gilbert Gottfried, Manhattan, tomorrow at Caroline's. Ticket reservations, 212-757-4100. Gilbert will be performing at Governor's on Long Island this Sunday night. Robin, let's wrap up the news.
Yeah, I was talking about the little girl from Philadelphia who escaped from her abductor. She was pulled into a car kicking and screaming just like the 5-year-old from out west, but she managed to chew through the tape.
What kind of tape was it?
Was she snatched?
All right, come on, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. Come on.
She chewed through the tape.
Come on.
What kind of tape?
And then she
What kind of tape?
She managed to get through
that gets a 3
to the first floor, but she couldn't get out of the building, so she broke a window and actually screamed for help. And some kids who were listening came to her aid. The police say she's a little bit shaken, but a very brave girl. They think that was incredible.
How did she escape? She chewed through the tape. That's a fine.
I heard the guy...
Louis Anderson, you must be impressed with anybody who can chew through tape. Even you, with your bloatedness, could not chew through tape.
I heard the guy threw something at her, and she had a duck.
They were trying to get ransom for this little girl as soon as they grabbed her.
How much was the ransom?
$100.
$100? That's a fine. fine.
What else is in the news?
$50,000 ransom.
Certainly there must be something uplifting to finish off with, Robin.
Oh, dear. You want me to find something uplifting?
Any colored kids get snatched?
Robert Blake is still in prison. I mean, he's not in prison. He's in jail awaiting trial, but he's still there. They have denied...
Here's a shocker. He claims he's innocent.
They have denied his request for bail.
Oh.
They did that very quietly, so he's going to have to stay there.
He also claims he wasn't Beretta. That was George Siegel.
Chris Matthews. Now, you watch all those shows. He's on MSNBC. He's one of the...
I watch him a lot.
...talk show hosts. He has malaria. Did you see this?
Yeah.
He apparently did a lot of traveling in Africa.
Who gets malaria?
Southeast Asia. Don't they give you a shot for that before you go?
Did he ever give hand release to a guy in Turkey?
Yeah, he got syphilis doing that.
So anyway, he's off the air right now.
Who gets malaria after 1930?
He's treated for malaria.
I watched that. Chris Matthews Hardball.
Yeah, no hardballs this week.
Certainly not in this room.
Yeah, is that on after Sports Center?
This just in, Bill O'Reilly has cooties.
Do you want to see Buffy the Vampire Slayer without Buffy?
Yeah, sure. Sure, who needs her? She's only the whole focus of the show. No, I would imagine that that the show would fall apart without her.
Well, they're saying they're considering
Buffy.
Show.
Give me that kike. Give me that shapely young kike. I want that sexy hook-nosed kike.
Your Holiness, you might come off sounding anti-Semitic using that kind of language.
Buffy the Kike Slayer. They're going to take the hot chick off that show? They're going to make it gayer?
She's considering leaving.
If she leaves, they can put another chick in there, believe me.
They could do it without her. They could just elevate the little sister.
Yeah, that'd be great.
They said they're going to focus on her more in the upcoming season anyway.
Man, that'll teach her a lesson.
Rob Lowe may be
Try to leave my show, will ya?
Rob Lowe.
Abandoning the West Wing because he doesn't like the fact that Martin Sheen gets more money. Apparently, Sheen gets $300,000 an episode, whereas Lowe is only getting about $100,000 or $72,000 actually. He was a big raise.
We were just talking. This is really funny. We were talking about Rob Lowe yesterday during the commercial saying, now there's a guy who kind of resurrected his career. He was persona non grata for a while in Hollywood. And he really resurrected his career, has done some smart moves, and now he's turning into an idiot again.
Yeah. He's going to shoot himself in the foot.
They could replace him with Andrew McCarthy.
Replace Buffy with Whoopi Goldberg and get Andrew McCarthy on West Wing, and no one will miss a beat.
Okay, since you know everything, who should play Martha Stewart in the movie?
That's easy, Gilbert Gottfried.
Affleck.
Put a wig on him.
NBC is rushing to put together a TV
you know who'd be good?
of the life of Martha Stewart.
Jerry Lewis with his big head.
You think he could play the young Martha as well?
Play it for laughs.
Today we're going to make an Afghan.
Hey, look at all these doily persons. Wow.
Today we're going to make some donuts.
I'm going to sell these stocks goods I found out. A tip.
We're going to build the deck out of styrofoam.
I know this is totally illegal.
Do you want to continue to see Friends? They're thinking it might go on.
Yes. They should leave Friends on TV.
Okay, these Friends aren't too old for you.
No, they should age gracefully. You know who's thinking of replacing Jennifer Aniston?
Who?
The Pope.
Look at my big breasts.
Your Holiness, you did an audition recently for Friends. What did that sound like?
Look at these big breasts of mine. Hello, Ross. How are things going with you, Ross? Do you want to marry me, Ross?
What about the episode where you won't wear a bra?
I will not wear a bra, so that my breast will hang down and be very frightening.
Wow, you'd be great.
Children.
And the world.
I think I will go have sex with Brad Pitt now.
Sex and the City beat the Osbournes in its premiere episode. The Osbournes having previously been the most popular show on cable.
That's such a silly spin they put. I read that article. That's the headline. They didn't beat the Osbournes.
The Osbournes not running against them?
Yeah, the Osbournes aren't up against them. But they just had a lot of viewers.
While the Osbournes were off, we beat them.
Yeah. Interesting.
Well, wow, I can't believe you did that.
Good for you.
Yesterday we were talking or listening to Honor Brody. She is one of the editors of In Style magazine. And, of course, she got a hold of that big star, David Arquette. To talk to him about...
He's the new center square.
Well, what you do, call him?
All right. Here's Honor Brody.
Wait a minute. Here's David on his love of vintage clothing.
It's like the Blockbuster Awards. He wore a sparkly blue velvet tuxedo. And he's very proud of this.
It's called Notice Me.
It once belonged to Wayne Newton.
Right.
And his closet, which is a very large closet filled with lots of clothes, and in fact, his...
You got to be kidding me with this.
What do you think Courtney Cox shelled out for that suit?
Does anybody feel dumb that there's tons of magazines devoted to what David Arquette has in his closet? Does anybody take pride? Does anybody ever look at the New York Times anymore and realize
But it picks up later in the article.
Does anybody wonder why our guard might have been down on September 11th?
Gina Davis is in a new movie. It's called Stuart Little 2.
Surprised they didn't have you play the mouse.
And here she is on how her character, the character she played, helped with learning competitive archery.
Kidding.
No, I'm not.
I worked with a sports psychologist for
Go back
archery.
to the David Arquette article.
And he
Let's
said,
go back to Honor Brody.
It was, you know, he has people picture a vision of themselves.
She's an archer.
You know, since Jerry Lewis' head bloated, he looks like Gina Davis.
Gina Davis found the sport that nobody plays. That's why she's good at it.
I know. She's number 8 in the world. They don't tell you that, like, I'm 12.
She found the one sport that black people haven't heard about yet.
She picked it up yesterday.
Yeah. Archery.
Apparently, bows and arrows are good.
I'm better than everyone else who does archery.
Way to go.
And here she is on the cancellation of her TV show, and if she would resist returning to the small screen.
No, I mean, I'd be open to doing TV. You know, I had...
Open. Of course she's open to it. She's at work.
Who's calling?
Yeah. She's playing up against the cartoon.
Wonderful producers and writers, and I think that's...
Yeah. In other words, call her now.
Well, no, she's open.
Number one, call me.
I don't need to read the script.
You can play the wacky neighbor on the Gilbert Gottfried show.
Guess who's showing up in Austin Powers in Gold Member?
Tom Hanks.
Open Friday.
Is there a bird in it? Because Gilbert might be...
Fred Savage, remember him?
No.
He was a kid.
He's the center square. He's replacing Whoopi.
Yes,
Fred Savage.
Fred Savage of what?
Fred Savage of Run That By Me Again?
Fred Savage of that show with, you know.
Yeah.
What was that show?
Go ahead.
He went to college after he lost his television
Who went
show.
to college, Fred Savage?
And here he tells us how that changed his life.
Yeah, bad move.
I know it's helped me as a person, you know, to just kind of go and I've been in and out of school a lot. And didn't really
Gilbert, you should have gone to college.
Pretty much ended my career, but as a person...
$150,000 to improve as a person.
You know, I was in and out a lot because I was working. So I think just as a person...
I can't get arrested in show business.
I was on a hit show. Now I have a marketing degree.
All right, we got to go. Come on.
Mel Gibson
is
in the new M. Night Shyamalan movie, Signs, which opens on August 2nd.
I can't wait for that.
I can't either.
I really can't.
Here, Mel shares a strange event.
Yeah, it's hard to be taken seriously, but go ahead.
A strange event that happened as he and his wife were talking about something very important.
We saw Fred Savage.
I pushed her in the pool.
We spotted Fred Savage.
My wife and I were actually driving down the freeway.
What a storyteller.
Oh, yeah.
Discussing something that we were having.
I haven't heard a story like this since Gilbert talked about affect the duck.
He's quite a raconteur, this Mel.
In making a decision on. Because it's
Once
very
we
great.
saw David Arquette's closet.
But a very strange thing happened, and we both saw it.
Gina Davis was offered a TV show.
Shot across the dark.
Gina Davis is 8th in the world in archery.
Just as he came to us. What should we do?
I missed the story.
No, Mel, really? Get out.
Here, Mel tells the rest of the story about seeing a comet.
Yeah.
Oh. Is that what took 2 hours to tell us?
We only got to the arc of the story.
What a strange story.
It went plowing through the sky and then embedded itself right behind a neon cross.
It turned out to be Louis Anderson.
And then aliens came out of a ship, and they walked over to Gilbert Gottfried's girlfriend, but he wouldn't introduce them.
She didn't even look at me. She said, "Did you see that?" And I said,
"Did she tell you that? Did you see that?
Did you see that? Did you now listen to him, man. Did you see that?"
She said, "Yeah."
My wife is Kingfish. Then my wife turned to me and said, "Did you see that?"
And so far.
We need a Geico counter.
My wife looked at it and thought it was Jerry Lewis's head.
Oh, dear.
It's Mr. and Mrs. Gibson.
Okay, anything else?
Finally, Road to Perdition, a movie you like very much.
Loved it.
Is still in theaters. Tom Hanks stars opposite Paul Newman, and here he talks about Paul and what he thought going into the project, working with this legend.
Believe me, I don't want Tom Hanks to have yet another hit movie, but the guy's good.
It's all right.
Oh, stop
it. We all have like this very personal opinion of Paul based on all the movies that we've seen of him.
All right, I've heard enough of that. The movie's great, and
was
more success.
Was that David Arquette or Tom Hanks?
That was Tom Hanks.
Well,
was that.
Thank you, Robin, for a thorough report. Now I feel informed. Gilbert Gottfried, tomorrow night at Caroline's in Manhattan. For ticket reservations, call 212-757-4100. I believe he'll be doing his famous routine. The Dracula recites Who's on First, if you're lucky.
If you hate blacks and fags, come to this show.
And who doesn't?
And Gilbert will be performing at Governor's on Long Island this Sunday night. And everyone...
Son of the Beach on the 6th.
Son of the Beach on the 6th. Everyone must tune in Tuesday night, 10 o'clock on the 6th for Gilbert Gottfried when he returns as a Jewish lifeguard, but this time he turns into Dracula Gottfried. You're so good in it.
Now let me ask you something.
What do you say? What do you say to Kimberly when you bite her?
Hey, what's that thing you say? I heard you say something. To the girl who plays Kimberly, yeah?
Tonight on E-Cat.
Wait a minute. You know what I love about Gilbert's lifeguard is that the lifeguard always sings the Jewish prayer.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. How's that go?
I heard you do some Jewish prayers.
Catherine Bell from Jag, tune into E tonight. I'll give her a fitting for a double D bra. What a fun day. In fact, it seemed like 2 days.
Yes, this was 2 shows, wasn't it?
Yes, we don't have to come in tomorrow, I bet.
Oh, cool.
We'll see you tomorrow. Gilbert, what a pleasure.
Gilbert Gottfried.
And we'll be back tomorrow.